Mountain bluebirds are endemic throughout the western United States, and particularly through the high deserts and the mountains, and are active all year round. And very much like my van, which I call Mountain Bluebird for this reason, has taken me throughout these areas of the western United States, the entire western United States, particularly the mountains and the high deserts, over almost exactly the last 5 years, exploring many remote regions and campsites and trails and roads, and supporting mountain biking, skiing, and camping out for up to a month-long travel, which has been really fantastic. And she has done this extremely well. Having explored many off-road areas and have had many adventures with numerous vehicles over several decades, from just about every brand of vehicle, Mountain Bluebird has actually been my most trusted and supported companion into these many explorations, as she allows me to stay out there for extended periods of time and carry all of my gear so that I can really enjoy time and go biking and paddling and skiing and other things, activities, all while doing these adventures without having to go back to retreat to home to repack or reload new gear. But there are some things that I would like to change and really further build upon in my next overlanding camping rig. She is most certainly better. She most certainly is better in every way over my last camper van, and my custom camper conversion with its many upgrades and refinements over the years that I've made have enabled camping and driving comforts, many camping and traveling capabilities, and those have enabled the explorations over many terrains and conditions far and wide. And this van has even been so comfortable that it's invited several furry friends to hop on board and enjoy a surprise ride to us both, even up onto the roof rack by a Lardair. So it certainly has been comfortable for not just me and my friends, but also my furry friends as well. Even with these many upgrades, such as the suspension and upgraded tires, they certainly have helped improve her off-road and on-road comfort and capability. I'd still like to have really more off-road ability to travel over rougher roads, including like washboard roads, for really extended period of times and at a little bit higher speeds. To be more comfortable, be able to travel these longer distances over these kinds of roads, and also a little more challenging types of roads. I'd also at the same time like this new vehicle to be more nimble than the van, even though the van is already quite nimble, and yet about double, even as much as 4 times the payload carrying capacity. So it has many capabilities. It's been fantastic, and those have really enabled me to get out and do many things with her. But I also, at the same time, I want to really further improve upon this. I've made upgrades that have helped with our self-reliance, including with a winch. It's really helped me also extract others, and never myself, but many others. And I want to make sure that I have the capability to continue doing this in this new rig, to explore these remote areas and do so comfortably, knowing that the rig will make it through it, and I will be able to certainly get that rig through that area and get me out to more beautiful spots. I also want to continue to carry my outdoor adventure gear inside the vehicle or inside the camper, away from dust and weather and theft, and so I can always have it with me, so that no matter where I am, I can take advantage of having that gear with me and getting out and using it. And yet it'd be really nice to be able to access it without having to open up as much of the interior camping space, so they can retain the warmth inside the camper. And while I insulated Mountain Bluebird extremely well for comfort from the cold and the warmer weather, I would still like to have really more comfort to be able to stay out there in the colder environments and also the warm environments. And so that'll mean adding air conditioning and also better insulated windows than what's available for the vans. Also, that does mean longer power ride through, or more power capability, and also more solar for those times when camping out in the shade. And so those would be some very nice upgrades to have. Now, I do typically also carry quite a bit of food and share this with others. And so having continued to have that space for lots of food for these extended travels that can go on for weeks without any food resupply are certainly key. And also be really nice to be able to have a dedicated bath area and dedicated shower space. Well, I really made great use of the aisle space in Mountain Bluebird to provide both a toilet and a shower, as I've shown in previous videos. Please do certainly watch those if you'd like to learn more. It still would be nice to have a little more space, not just dedicated for these uses, but also for people to change and prep meals and etc. during really foul weather when you can't be really outside. And of course, having these capabilities means probably also carrying more water, because that means also the ability to stay out there for extended periods of time. And what I've found is that in my extended travels is I can typically travel for about 2 to 4 weeks before I do need some sort of water and or food resupply. And I'd really like to be able to even extend upon that and yet provide these additional comforts. So all of this, more capability, more space, more weight carrying capacity, and yet still comfortable on the road, more comfortable and capable off-road with this greater weight carrying capacity, and yet still nimble enough to not only get into tight spots, but also even my garage, including also the tight spots that are around these small camping spaces. So ideally having more living space, more weight carrying capacity, and more, call it accoutrements or comforts, and yet still being just as small or nimble as the van is. That is my desire for my next vehicle. So after owning adventure vehicles, off-road vehicles from just about every brand over the last several decades and traveling with them and even exploring not just around the Western US but other parts of the world in these vehicles, I've made the decision that I'm going to go ahead and replace Mountain Bluebird. And so I will be selling Mountain Bluebird and sharing with you my 2 years of explorations of a replacement vehicle and camper. And I'll share with you those experiences and my results of these many new vehicles that I've tried out and new campers, and also sharing with you the build out of this new vehicle and camper over the next several months. So I look forward to sharing all that with you. Certainly do reach out, subscribe so you can catch all those updates on this new vehicle. It's going to be fun.